Hello YouTube and welcome back to World of Warships with Wadres again for the second stage of the World of Warships Halloween event, the Operation Sunray in Darkness. And, well, let's just say that this was not exactly an easy won victory. I went through a few matches to actually get this battle done with 5 stars. But I will say right up front, this is going to be a 5-star match, and it's definitely going to take more than a little bit of effort on my part. Now, one of the things that you will notice is that I am in the I am in the destroyer for the mission, which is the Urashima, otherwise known as the Kagero. Now, granted, it's a modified Kagero. It does have slightly modified torps, so the torps actually have a rather decent reload time. And she does have a few additional consumables that are special for the Halloween event. She has a healing speed boost. She has a consumable that stops enemy main batteries from firing at her. And she does have a rather quick reload torpedo reload booster. And overall, I am actually going to end up using all of them, but really not until later in the match. And you'll see what I mean when I get there. The primary thing is just trying to do damage at the start, but the other nice thing about the way the consumables work for this particular mission is that every time I do damage, specifically certain amounts of damage, the actual effectiveness of the consumables actually doubles. Namely, the healing speed boost in this case, which increases its efficiency and it increases the amount by which it heals me per second while it's active. Now, right now, initially it only heals 25 hit points per second, and it's pretty much a standard speed boost otherwise. But every time you double your damage, so starting at 50,000 damage done, the effectiveness doubles. And so when you do 50,000 damage, 100,000 damage, 200,000 damage, and 400,000 damage, the effectiveness of these consumables doubles each time. So you can actually get some pretty decent speed and, well, reload time and just overall effect out of these consumables. And that's primarily one of the good things about working with the ships in this match, because the more damage you do, the better they get over time. So you just kind of do what you can to farm as much damage as possible. Now, one of the things that I will say is that being in the Kagero is not one of my best ships. I can say that without any uncertainty whatsoever. I'm not used to playing destroyers that really don't have much as far as their gun capabilities. So when I jump into a Japanese destroyer, or the Halloween equivalent of one, it's very difficult for me to actually get the hang of it. And yeah, it kind of drives me a little bit nuts also, because these are definitely ships which are built around their torpedo systems and not around their guns. And you'll kind of understand my frustration if you've ever played one of the gunboats and then switched over to one of the Japanese torpedo boats, and it's just kind of like playing an uphill struggle. You don't have the firepower to really do anything substantial with these guns, but sometimes you're just stuck in a position where, damn it, I want to shoot something, so I'm going to shoot something. And, I mean, yeah, overall. Anyway, I got sidetracked. I did kind of lose track of where I was actually paying attention to when I was doing this recording. So I had one battleship that I actually killed off-screen because it was off to the side that I wasn't paying attention to. But otherwise, I'm keeping up pretty well, especially in regards to the match. And I'm not exactly doing poorly either. I've completely obliterated a couple of the Bismarcks, aka Vargs, that have popped up nearby. The ghouls are problematic only because they're destroyers, they're gunboats, they're small targets, they're hard to hit with torpedoes, but I've at least tried, I think, on a couple of occasions. And overall, just kind of doing my part, trying to keep myself going, keep myself in the match. My heal is down, but fortunately I also happen to be in the healing zone of one of the friendly battleships, which is the, for the Halloween event, it is called the Magnute S, but it's really just a modified Tirpitz. Of course, the destroyer that I am in is, as I said, it's a reconfigured Kagero. The friendly cruisers are basically modified Chapayevs, and if the aircraft carrier were in match, it is a modified Lexington. As far as the enemy ships that keep popping up, initially there were a few Mikasas that came through, aka Zycasas, and the Vargs are Bismarcks, the Ghouls are Bensons, and I forget offhand what the cruisers are for the enemy team. I might have to look into that. The Charles Martels, that's what they are. But either way, we're just kind of keeping things going. And right around here is where we know that the Rasputin and the Great Gorgon are on the map. Now, from my last video, the Great Gorgon, the Rasputin, is played by the Imperator Nikolai I. The Great Gorgon is basically a modified Shokaku. And, oh boy, do I have its attention. Now, I am actually the only ship that's even close to being within range of the Great Gorgon in the first place, and I am just trying to keep myself from being focused down by anything else that's nearby. The only ship that I want having my attention, the only ship that I want to have the attention of, is the Great Gorgon. So I'm really just kind of trying to avoid the ghoul that was nearby, and just otherwise get close enough where I feel comfortable dropping torpedoes on the Great Gorgon. And, well, needless to say, once I do, I'm going to wreak all kinds of havoc, because the Great Gorgon hates two things: fires, and it hates torpedoes. Now, it does rapidly heal while it is in the filth, or at least the filth mitigates a lot of damage. I'm not 100% sure which, but overall, it definitely it definitely does a lot to bolster my damage numbers. I've already put 13 torpedoes into her side, and I've barely even done a third of her health. Of course, I'm also sitting out here, I'm doing damage with my main guns because, again, I've got an aircraft carrier this close. It can't really defend itself. I have nothing else that's in range of shooting at me, so I'm gonna do something to it. I refuse to just sit and do nothing while I'm waiting for my torpedoes to reload with an aircraft carrier, especially one like the Great Gorgon, in range. Now, I do have a flood that's sticking on it, so it is taking quite a bit of damage, and I'm just waiting for my torpedoes to reload so that I can hit her again. Now, one of the things that I will apologize here for is that for whatever reason, both during the recording and during the match itself, my frame rate was kind of dropping and jumping all over the place. I blame it entirely on my graphics processor. I have nothing that I can do about it. I do have a new computer that is on order, and hopefully for my next my videos next week or even after that, I should definitely have substantially better graphics for you all to see. And as I finish off the Great Gorgon, we also happen to seal the portal at the same time, which, oh my god, wait a minute, that's 5 stars. holy crap, we got 5 stars! And that's what I'm realizing at this moment. And at this point, I'm just kind of celebrating. But, yep, 5 stars. Absolutely amazing. Very, very, very tricky match, to say the least. But anyway, for my overall credit earnings, I earned 163,407 credits. I earned 3,829 experience points and 221 free experience points for this absolute ballbuster of a match, I do have to say. And I did 543,000 damage overall, and most of that was to the Great Gorgon, something that I will outline in detail in just a little bit. I did hit with 93 main battery guns, and oh man, those torpedoes. I came out second on the team for base experience points earned with 1,668. Our Magnute S, who also sank the Rasputin, by the way, Run Salmon Run, came out with 1,722 experience points, so definite props to him for finishing her off. But yeah, here we go, look at this. 422,330 hit points worth of damage done to the Great Gorgon alone. I don't know how I managed to sink one plane, but I did somewhere along the way. Hey, I'll take it. But, I mean, just look at these numbers. 249,000 damage done with torpedoes, 146,000 damage done by floods, 26,000 damage done to her with my main guns. I worked her over hard. And I still did substantial amounts of damage to a large number of enemy ships otherwise. Anyway, for my net earnings, I earned 131,767 credits, and my commander earned 3,980 experience points, which will also be converted directly over to Elite Commander experience points. Anyway, on that note, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did like what you saw, and I will let you all go. Catch you all next time, and I hope you all keep watching. Have a good one.